Hello everyone, Charles Moon here of Prosper Trading Academy, bringing you your daily market commentary. Now folks, if you follow us on Facebook, every morning we have a Facebook live video going out. Yours truly here starts off the week every Monday, and this Monday, okay, this whole Monday, which was just yesterday, by the way, I had said this is what we're going to look for in Amazon, and if it basically works out, it's going to be a very bullish sign. So I said there was some pretty significant resistance at the 50-day moving average, which is highlighted by this orange line right here. I actually, on the Facebook Live, pointed this particular level out, and I said, well, the way that Amazon is trading right now pre-market, it's going to open above the 50-day moving average. What's important is that it finds some technical support within this range and then react to the upside. If we see that behavior, it's going to be very bullish, and my upside target was the 200-day moving average, which is this teal blue line, which of course is exactly where we've been finding a lot of resistance here in recent trading sessions at that particular level. Okay, I said it's clearly weak because the 50-day moving average crossed over the 200-day to the downside, the quote-unquote death cross, our price channels, which follow the extremes, the extreme high and the extreme low over a 20-day period. This is a daily chart, so the last 20 pars has been descending in conjunction, which means lower highs and lower lows. It's been trending down, but of course, when the markets are healthy, and that's the statement that I really started off with, if the markets are healthy, this stock will be one of the leaders. It has been for years, guys, okay? And listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching the markets since we've opened, we had a pretty strong response early. The following day it was met with a very bearish response, only to be met the following trading session after that with an even bigger gain. So we had a huge washout followed by a bigger gain. And on these days, we've actually gone from positive to negative, back not only to positive, but positive to new highs, just like so far today. The market was up. We had pulled back down. Okay. We went negative. I don't know if the Dow went negative, but the S&P and the NASDAQ definitely did. And we've rallied back and then some. Dow's up 250, NASDAQ's up 56, S&P's up 20. So I actually stated on Monday that we could see 1700 by the end of the week. I still think that's a possibility, of course, if the markets move up. But what I wanted to state here was how you could recognize bullish behavior. You could anticipate that particular opportunity, and then, of course, you could act on that. But it's just knowing, which is a part of the battle. It's knowing from a technical standpoint where certain speed bumps may lie and where certain floors may come into play. And this particular anticipation is how technical traders get an edge. Now, this is very basic technical analysis for me, all right? And when I see reactive behavior, that is very telling, because I myself, you yourself, us collectively probably wouldn't be able to budge Amazon one way or the other too far if we all pooled our money and traded. But Amazon's traded on a daily basis to the tune, it seems, over the last 50 days at 7.8 million shares. Think about that. A $1,600 stock that trades on probably bigger volume than a stock like Netflix. Let me look at Netflix really quick and see what their volume average is. It's at 13 million. Sorry, I'm 5 million off. Forgive me. But in that same sense, Amazon trades on a huge amount of daily volume. So getting back to Amazon, if you're able to recognize that and kind of foresee where the outcome is, where the opportunity is, and what you need to put yourself in a position of success, just like I started this video, Trading does not have to be that difficult. Everything is fairly defined. Risk is defined. Entry is defined. Upside targets are defined. But more importantly here, let's forget Amazon, okay? More importantly here is that the markets are showing life, which is vastly different from what we've seen. Now, I didn't expect an immediate, jump out of the gates in the markets, but we're seeing it right now. And if it sustains, well, things will be back to normal, right? Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. China and the U.S. are in trade talks. And if somehow a deal is made, I don't think people are going to be too concerned about is the government shutdown going to weigh on the overall markets. I think they're going to be too busy trying to play the specific news, okay, the important news, maybe the news that causes this market to go skyrocketing, which is the trade war is going to end. Now, I actually stated about a week ago that I don't think that's going to matter at this point. I expected the markets to kind of be weak, continue their weakness, but there's one thing between expectations and actually having the markets do something. And whatever the markets do, whatever stocks do, that is what I follow, because that's what the big money is telling me. And I don't care if I think I'm right. I've learned very quickly that the markets will humble you faster than anything else in your lifetime. And so if you're on the wrong side, if you spot it early enough, obviously you could manage your drawdowns. But if you can't, that's where a lot of people get themselves into big trouble. So let's not overthink things. Let's just read and then react and then adjust in accordance, because as traders, that is all you can do. Keep that in mind. Amazon at 1700, and let's see if my predictions quote unquote come into play, and let's see if I'm right on my second half. The first half so far, so good. Now, if it crosses over 1700, opens above that level, if it finds immediate support, forget 1800. I'm calling 1900. We're not talking about a 100-point jump. Let's talk about a 200-point jump. Maybe even back to that $2,000 range, which is pretty much the all-time highs. But my thinking is that it'll be acceptance into this big old circle, which is starting right around, right around 1850-ish, let's say, to 1900. But it's really 1850-ish to 2000. That would be the target upside range if it opens and closes above that 200-day moving average. Of course, that's going to be dependent on how the markets trade, but overall, folks, so far, so good. Do want to mention that stock and stock options trading does involve a substantial degree of risk. May not be suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. We'll wait and see how Amazon is. I'll update folks here shortly, but some of these names are ripping, and Amazon is one of them. Take care, folks.